What is gender? Gender is a concept that refers to the differences between a man and a woman that are socially constructed, changeable over time, and have wide variations within and between cultures. As a social construct, gender varies from society to society and can change over time. There exists the genders LGBTQIA. LGBTQIA is an acronym that stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and asexual. A lesbian is a woman who is primarily attracted romantically, erotically, and emotionally to other women. Gay are people whose enduring physical, romantic, and/or emotional attractions are to people of the same sex. Bisexual is a person who experiences attraction to two or more genders. Transgender refers to all persons who express gender in ways not traditionally associated with their sex. Queer can be understood as refusing the stabilizations of both gender and sexuality implied by the categories gay and lesbian and opening onto a wider spectrum of sexual non-normativity. Intersex is an individual born with biological features that are simultaneously perceived as male and female. Asexual is a person who experiences limited to no sexual attraction. Polysexual is a person who experiences attraction to multiple genders, but not all forms of gender identity or expression. Pansexual is a person who does not consider gender a factor in their ability to experience attraction at all. Non-binary are gender identities that fall outside the binary conceptualization of people as either men or women. It is important to be knowledgeable about genders as it is of key importance in defining the power, privilege, and possibilities that some people have and some people do not have in a given society.
LGBTQIA is a spectrum under the sexual orientation of CGAD. CGAD is an acronym which means sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, and sexual characteristics. Gender and development is the approach that recognizes that all development planning, policies and projects must reflect gender sensitivity about and gender awareness of the different roles that men and women play in societies, differences in their access to and control over resources, and the differential impacts of development processes on men and women. Gender equality is the equal treatment of women and men in laws and policies, and equal access to resources and services, including education, health and occupational positions, within families, communities, and society. Gender sensitivity refers to the ability to understand and consider the socio-cultural factors underlying gender-based discrimination, socialization of men and women into certain behaviors or opportunities, power relations between men and women, as well as the different needs, problems and levels of access to resources that they have. Gender awareness refers to the recognition and understanding of the complex and socially constructed nature of gender, including the roles, expectations, and identities associated with being a man, a woman, or non-binary. What are some challenging LGBTQIA experiences? It is important to be knowledgeable, aware, and sensitive regarding the LGBTQIA as issues and problems persists in the LGBTQIA community. These challenges involve discrimination, violence, stereotypes, harassment, and abuse. About 60% of Filipinos agree that LGBTQIA community experiences discrimination. 74% of LGBTQIA students have encountered verbal bullying at school because of their sexual preferences, while 55% have experienced it because of how they represent their gender. We categorize the experiences of LGBTQIA in 4: family, community, school, and workplace. According to what we have gathered, here are examples of challenges that the LGBTQIA faces within the family. Here are examples of challenges that the LGBTQIA faces within the community. Here are examples of challenges that the LGBTQIA faces within the school. Here are examples of challenges that the LGBTQIA faces within the workplace. Laws that exist to protect against discrimination, violence, harassment, and abuse.
Republic Act No. 11648, an act providing for stronger protection against rape and sexual exploitation and abuse, increasing the age for determining the commission of statutory rape, amending for the Purpose Act No. 3815, as amended, otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code, Republic Act No. 8353, also known as the Anti-Rape Law of 1997, and Republic Act No. 7610, as amended, otherwise known as the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation and Discrimination Act. Republic Act 10627, an act requiring all elementary and secondary schools to adopt policies to prevent and address the acts of bullying in their institutions. This act shall be known as the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. Republic Act 9262, an act defining violence against women and their children, providing for protective measures for victims, prescribing penalties therefor, and for other purposes. This act shall be known as the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004. Republic Act 11313, an act defining gender-based sexual harassment in streets, public spaces, online, workplaces, and educational or training institutions, providing protective measures and prescribing penalties therefor. This act shall be known as the Safe Spaces Act. Provincial Ordinance No. 0065/2021 or prohibiting discrimination in the province of Albay on the basis of sexual orientation, gender equality, and expression, and providing penalties therefor, also known as the Albay Anti-SOGI Discrimination Ordinance.
Promoting gender awareness and sensitivity in reducing the challenges faced by the LGBTQIA community requires a collective effort from individuals, communities, institutions, and governments. So, as students, what can we do? Gender mainstreaming. It is the major global strategy for ensuring that the government pursues gender equality in all aspects of the development process. Support organizations and advocacies that support LGBTQIA rights, challenge and report instances of discrimination or harassment when you witness them. Foster a supportive and affirming environment for mental health by reducing stigma, support and uplift the voices of LGBTQIA individuals and organizations in media, politics, and other public spheres. Be an active ally by learning about LGBTQIA experiences and issues, and standing up against discrimination and prejudice, and be gender sensitive by attending gender sensitivity training or seminar to become more responsive.
Ultimately, the quest for LGBTQIA acceptance is intertwined with the broader pursuit of human rights and social justice. As we move forward, let us remember that love, compassion, gender equality, disability and inclusivity are the cornerstones of gender and development and of a society that honors the dignity and worth of every person, regardless of who they are or whom they love. By standing together in solidarity, we can forge a world where everyone is not only accepted, but celebrated for the unique beauty they bring to our shared human experience.